Let's make some noise. Come on.
Right indeed, Nick Foles. Let's make some noise. What's going on, everybody? Trying to wake you up. Quiet day here. Quiet day around these parts. So I'm trying to wake you up and me at the same time. Welcome back to another episode of the Final Word with MattyB here on the It's a Rap Sports Network. Our Tuesday night edition, January 27th, 2026. The snow has stopped, kind of, where I am. It's still lingering a bit, but for the most part, it has stopped. I think it's supposed to snow a little bit over the night. Yeah, I'm done, man, and I'm happy. I know it's bittersweet here because I'm moving headquarters in a couple weeks. I'll be heading down to Tennessee, where they're dealing with ice. But you know what? I'll take that over this. But I'm moving out of the Northeast for about 10 weeks or so as I go down south to play some baseball and have some fun. Baseball season is here. Somewhere in the country today, I think today, there were games scheduled to be played at the college level of baseball. Wrap that around your head. I know people that were working games today in college baseball. Now, whether or not those games went off because of the weather problems they are having down south, I don't know. But I do know January 27th was a scheduled baseball day somewhere in the college ranks in America. I don't know exactly where or who or what level. I don't know if it was NCAA or NAIA or whatever it was, but somewhere along the line today, baseball began, at least on paper. I don't know if the game actually physically played, but that's really good. It's very good news. As the winter's got me down, man. I hate the winter. I hate this part of the winter. There ain't nothing to do. Ain't nothing really to watch. The Flyers still stink. I've been out on the Sixers for about 5 years. I'm tired of talking about offensive coordinators and who they may or may not be, but we'll of course entertain that as, Philadelphia, the lovely city by the Denial River. And that's kind of what we should be going. That should be our new tourist motto to bring people here. Philadelphia, it's a lovely city located by the Denial River, because the Denial Fest running around this town when it comes to your Philadelphia Eagles has gone to epic proportions. And of course, we'll continue the rant about that. Are the Eagles taking their time, or is the NFL shunning the Eagles? Inquiring minds want to know. So that'll be on the table tonight. Phillies Truck Day, I heard, is February 3rd. I used to actually go to that as a kid. I used to. My dad used to take me down. I would miss school that day, or he'd go take me late. And we would go down and watch the trucks leave. It's become a rite of passage. I'm glad the tradition still remains, but Truck Day, the day the trucks leave for Clearwater, is on February 3rd. So next Tuesday or something like that? Next Monday, something like that. So if you're in the South Philadelphia area, head on down to Citizen Bank Park and enjoy the Truck Day festivities. Because the next time you see those trucks will be, let's go to Clearwater, but the next time you see them will be when they come back in late March to start the baseball season. So again, there are signs of spring coming. But boy, oh boy, is it a hard road, depressing road right now. So definitely get into some Phillies talk. Again, with nothing really to get into with the live sports aspect of it all, we're going to lean on our segments pretty heavy tonight. We're going to lean on the day in Philadelphia sports history. We're going to lean on our card of the night. We're going to get back to doing the card of the night. I have fallen off so bad on that. But we're going to get back into that. Our of the night segment, twofer as well, both a Philly spotlight and a NHL draft prospect. So all that we're going to get into tonight, extra slow and extra detailed. We're going to kind of push this bad boy out a little bit. So let's get it rolling on the program. Joe Hale's checking in. Joe, how are you? Good to see you, Joe. Missed you last night, Joe. You're not. If I got to be here every night, why don't you? I don't understand that, Joe. How does that work out, man? How is it that you get a night off when I don't? But good to see you, Joe. If you have any news on Ricky, I would love to hear it. If it's possible to give that news on the public forum. Of course, we will open up the phone lines here in about 5 seconds. But if you want to give that information up, if you can, meaning if it's a non-sensitive issue, please, because Michael Kaepernick was asking last night about that. So, and I'm interested to know how he's doing. But yeah, so that's what we're going to pretty much do tonight. We're going to try to get through this boring night, this absolutely boring night in sports. Harrison Bader signed with the Giants yesterday. There's been actually, I don't know. I don't know if this is a sign of the times that we're living in. And what I mean by that is dead of winter when we're grasping for anything. But to spend hours of your day or even 5 minutes of your day lamenting over the loss of Harrison Bader, I don't know what that is. He had a great half a season for the Phillies, not even a half a season, but he was very effective when he was here. But that was sort of a glitch in the matrix of Harrison Bader's career. He's been a very below average to average player across the board in his career. I'm not prepared to give him what the Giants gave him. I wasn't prepared to give him 1 year for $10 million. I'm sorry. That money could have been spent elsewhere. Now, granted, I don't know if the Phillies have spent that money elsewhere or if they spent it wisely. If you look at Garcia as the replacement to Bader, which I look at Garcia, the replacement for Castellanos, and Crawford, the replacement for Bader. So honestly, I think the Phillies got an upgrade. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think that obviously Bader on the other side of his career, Crawford on his other side of his career. I'm okay with going with the young guy here. I really am. But the fact that we've spent as a city I heard people ranting on about it most of the day today about the loss of Harrison Bader. How far have we either it's that boring and there really isn't that much to talk about, or we are really in a bad way with this baseball team because of Harrison Bader. And I know we all said it last year in the playoffs, especially when he got hurt. Was he the key piece that really kind of separated us from the Dodgers last season in that series? I don't know. We'll never know that. Obviously, he was probably the hottest hitter we had. And yes, bone batting fourth was pretty much why that was happening. But the fact that if this whole thing hinges on Harrison Bader, then Dave Dombrowski needs to be fired immediately. If Dave Dombrowski is the foundation of the Phillies, if not having Harrison Bader with this team is going to mean we're going to crumble into the Atlantic, then Dave Dombrowski needs to be fired because he has screwed this thing up big time. But I don't think he is. And I don't think by the end of next year, by the end of the 2026 season, we're not going to be talking anymore about Harrison Bader, especially the fact that he's 3,000 miles away. But we're going to be talking about our new stud center fielder, the rookie of the year of 2026, one Justin Crawford, and his high ground ball rate ratio. We're going to be talking about how he has changed the DNA of this team. He started out batting ninth, but he worked his way all the way up to the leadoff spot in our lineup where he will be probably entrenched for the next 12 years. And he has slugged his way or ground balled his way to the 2026 Rookie of the Year award. That's my hot take. It's one of my not a hot take, but it's a bold prediction. While Harrison Bader's hanging out, by the city, by the bay. So I'm not going to, it was funny to see how much time was invested today in talking about Harrison Bader. Stunningly amazing. But if you want to waste some more of my time talking about Harrison Bader, it's your dime. I'm just here, I'm going along with you. We will talk Harrison Bader. I'd rather talk about something a little bit more important, like root canal, like the quest for the elusive offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the denial fest that the city's fans, the Eagles fan base, at least part of them, or truly epically, starting to kind of let it overtake their lives. I'd rather talk about that because it's gone so far. I heard one Nimrod today saying we should be silenced. All those who are speaking that the Eagles are not a desirable destination. We should be silenced. I don't know if he meant physically silenced, put in prison, have our tongues cut out. I don't know what the person meant, but this Nimrod, and this is indicative of the homers of this team. They are the epitome of the cancel culture. If you don't agree with them, and you better be shut up because you're just a pain in the ass. So, again, we'll continue to talk that if you like as well. So, we'll get through tonight. And yes, the phone lines will open in about 5 seconds. Said that 5 seconds ago. By the way, here on the Sports Network for the week, tonight, John Phillips is having some technical problems out there in the western part of the state of Pennsylvania with the internet. So he was not able to go on tonight. We're also having some StreamYard difficulties here at headquarters with trying to access. StreamYard changed itself. They updated their features, and I'm not tech savvy at all, so I'm trying to figure all that out. And I'm not going to bore you with the details, but John Phillips in the Pittsburgh Sports Tonight program was not happening tonight. They had to go off the air early last night because of the technical issues, and he did not go on the air tonight. I don't know if he's going to go on the air tomorrow, so we're going to play it by ear. But if he does, tomorrow you'll have the Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, the Pittsburgh Sports Desk, me, and then you'll also have Flyers, Blue Jackets, Clear the Ice. We can talk Flyers tonight too. I forgot. You were forgetting about the Flyers. Keep on forgetting about them, man. They're starting to slide into relevancy, if you ask me. And then on Thursday night, you have the Gridiron Weekly Report, final word with me, and the Flyers Bruins, and then the Philly Friday Frenzy on Friday, and everything else that's coming up for the week on the network. So we got you covered 24/7. One day that's actually going to be a thing. One day I'm actually going to come on this show and following me at the 11 o'clock hour is so-and-so, and following him at the 2 o'clock in the morning hour, we're going to have this at 24/7. I promise you, that is my goal, man. I will die trying to do that for you. So hang in there with me as we're trying every day closer to that goal. All right. Let's get into some your day in Philadelphia sports history. Let's start it up. Let's strap in, strap on, strap up. Keep your head, hands, feet inside the car at all times. And here we go. Your day in Philadelphia sports history. It's a quiet night in sports, and it's a quiet night in Philadelphia sports history. So quiet, we're going way back to the year 1927 on this one. Major League Baseball Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis cleared Philadelphia A's outfielder Ty Cobb and Washington Senators Tris Speaker of fixing games. The player's main accuser, Dutch Leonard, a longtime nemesis of the famously callous Cobb. He failed to show up to the hearing. That's why they were cleared, because the guy that was their main accuser didn't come to the hearing. Supposedly fearing a physical confrontation with the ironically named Georgia Peach or Ty Cobb. Now, it's been very well documented Ty Cobb was a D-bag, and apparently he muscled his way into being cleared of fixing games. Ty Cobb's one of the greatest players of all time. But you know what? He's also probably one of the biggest assholes in baseball history, if not the biggest. They make fun of him in the Field of Dreams, where they wouldn't let him play on the field. Every kind of movie today about baseball, you kind of see people taking pokes at Ty Cobb. But on this day, he was cleared of fixing baseball games because his accuser, fearing a physical altercation, did not want to come to the hearing. So there you have it. Your day in Philadelphia sports history, brought to you proudly by the Clear the Ice Flyers post-game show. Last night it was me doing a twofer. Tomorrow you'll have a standalone. Mike Lauro will be back, and he will have you Flyers Blue Jackets Wednesday, Flyers Bruins on Thursday, and then Flyers Kings on Saturday. All with Mike Lauro, unless there's weather approaching on the weekend, so maybe he won't be there for Saturday. But I've already told you that it will not be me. Al Zafiri will be doing Clear the Ice on Saturday. I promise you that. He's doing it. Whether or not he likes it or not, he will do Clear the Ice on Saturday. I promise you that. He just doesn't know it yet. But there's your Clear the Ice schedule for this week. As we're getting ready for the Flyers Wives Fight for Lives Carnival. That's coming up on Sunday. You guys remember that? I went to that as a kid a couple times. Loved that thing. As a kid, it's the best thing in the world. But we got you covered all week long. Busy week on Flyers hockey this week. So make sure you're tuned in for the Clear the Ice coverage throughout the week. Dave, how you been? Good to see you on this chilly January Tuesday night. Depressing January Tuesday night. But it's not because you're here, Dave. You make my day better. But anyway, all right. So I guess we can continue to kick the tires on the denial fest. It's become, I've always been a kind of person, and this might shock a lot of people. I sense a weakness in somebody, and whether or not I agree with the weakness or disagree with the weakness, I'll just go at it for my own entertainment. I'll just pick at it for my own entertainment, just to see how far I can get till the person snaps. It's really a character flaw with me, and it hasn't. I mean, it basically cost me a marriage. I think it did, my first marriage, but that's what I do, and I try. I've gotten better as I've grown older, and my wife today. Now, this wife, number 2, she'll tell me it's one of my biggest problems. But here's the thing, and it's just like everything when it comes to the Eagles. You know, everyone asks, you can't be real. This can't be who you really are when it comes. You can't hate the Eagles this much, right? And I said, listen, I don't hate the Eagles at all. Quite the opposite. I love the Eagles. The problem is I don't like what the Eagles represent today. I don't like the culture. I don't like the philosophy. I get it. They want a Super Bowl, but to me, it's tainted, man, because I just don't like what they're doing. I don't like who's running the roost, man. I don't, and I don't know if it's indicative to the year 2026 or I'm stuck in the past. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that our team is run by a cheerleader head coach, an accountant for a general manager. And then, you know, I just don't like the vibe around the team. So I want this all to end, right? I want these individuals to go so we can get some real football people back here. And maybe one day we could have that dynasty that we all so damn deserve to have. But when it comes to this offensive coordinator thing, the staunchness of one side of the fan base saying, you know, no, this has nothing to do with no one wanting to come here. This has got everything to do with the Eagles sitting back and doing their own due diligence, and getting so irate over the other side of the fan base that says, well, I don't know, man. You know, it seems to me that the defending they are technically still the defending Super Bowl champions. Technically they are. That they still can't find an offensive coordinator this deep into the search. And yes, I got you. You want to sit back and do your due diligence. But again, are you telling me, are any of the homers out there going to, and I said the H word, and that's another thing. I'm going to have a homer word. I'm going to have a homer swear jar. I'm going to start doing that. Every time I say the word homer, I'm going to put $1 in it. And I'm going to keep a running tally of that, because I got to stop saying it. I got to leave them alone. I got to leave the homers alone, man. It's not even fun anymore, man. It's like shooting fish in a barrel with them. But to sit here and tell me, and how stupid do you think we are to sit here and say, oh, we're just being selective. Come on, man. Again, it's okay to look at this football team with less than just glaring eyes. It's okay to say there's problems with the football team. Listen, they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. So the season was a failure for most part. Don't throw at me, well, they back-to-back division championships and they made the playoffs for 5 freaking years straight. Who cares about that? The bottom line is Lombardi trophies. That's where the bottom line is, man. And all that other stuff is just things that get you to go to sleep at night. That's all that is, right? But to sit here and say that the franchise is structurally sound from top to bottom, that there's nothing to see here, and that everybody looks at us as that gold standard, it's just foolish, man, because there's no such thing as that. In any organization, any team, any company, any family, it's never structurally 100% sound. And there are problems with this football team. And I don't think they're problems that a scientist needs to sit down and figure out. They're pretty evident. We've seen them on display day after day, right? But to sit there and say, nah, it's okay. The Eagles haven't offered the job to anybody. Or, yeah, the reason why we don't have an offensive coordinator is because they're taking their time. Come on. So, and I asked this question last night, and I throw it out there tonight. If there's any homers listening, most of them don't listen to me because they don't like to hear the truth. But if there's any homers out there that got the stones to come on here and talk to me, I really would love it. And not Al. Don't send Al anymore. It's getting boring. I want somebody new. I want a new nemesis. I want someone new. But if there's a homer out there that wants to get on and explain to me the X's and O's and explain to me that they actually think that the Eagles have not offered the job to anybody yet, and that they are indeed taking their time and surveying the battlefield and being selective and being, calculating and all that. I would love for someone to just talk to me about it. Just explain to me, and please break down your theory. Please give me some substantial evidence, as much substantial evidence as you could provide. Because to think that the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, the gold standard, have not casted their net out already and said, hey, we're the Super Bowl champions. We're the gold standard. Let's go offer this guy a job. And they haven't done that yet. Come on. Let's go, man. Let's get, again, the city of Philadelphia, located by the beautiful Denial River. Let's not do that. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not saying the Eagles are a terrible organization. No. But there are some things about this organization that are probably not appetizing to some young coaches or to some older coaches too. There are some things, and we're seeing some things, and the people on the inside of all this probably see even more than we do. So again, it's okay to have problems. It's okay not to be 100% hunky-dory. But don't make fun of our intelligence by saying that there's no way. There's no way people are going to turn down the Eagles job, because it's just really it's insulting. It's insulting to every free-thinking person out there. So again, I put out the casting call. If you know a homer, any homer who has the stand, who takes the stand of this, that they're being selective, please bring him here. I would love to speak to them about it. And again, don't bring Al. I'm tired of Al. Al's getting old. So he's slapping around Al. I'm tired. Tired of that. Get me another. I want me a new homer. Get me a homer. So anyway, I'm just saying, man. Just saying. What the heck was that? What is that? You guys see that? What did I just do? I don't know what I did there. Again, StreamYard changed things. I don't know what the hell they're doing. A teleprompter. That's what I'm talking about, man. Somebody can tell me what to say. All right, let's open them phone lines. Let's get that thing going tonight. So the phone lines are about to open. You guys know the drill here. If you're a homer, this is your opportunity. This link is going to pop up on whatever platform you're watching. And then you can jump on this show either through using the use of your camera or microphone, or just your microphone or just your camera. Well, you can't use just your camera because I got to be able to hear and talk to you. I got to hear you and you got to be able to talk to me. So if you don't want to bring your camera, that's fine. Just want to do audio, that's fine. If you want to do both, that's great. But you got to give me at least audio. But phone lines are open, so hop on in. It's your dime. Any topic you want. We can continue the conversation, the very old, the very methodic, the very calculating conversation of why the Eagles can't find an offensive coordinator. We can go down the Harrison Bader road. If you guys want to talk Harrison Bader, you want to waste my time with that, that's great. We'll do that. Flyers, no goals again last night. MattyB Mitchkoff has fallen off the face of the earth and ain't looking good with that. Trade deadline is coming. Olympic break is coming. So there's some time off approaching for the Flyers. We're going to do a midpoint show at some point too, me and Mike, for the Clear the Ice. We're well beyond the actual midpoint of the season, but we'll take the Olympic break and do a Clear the Ice like mid-season check-in show. Yeah, we do that with the Fighting's Final. We're going to do that with Clear the Ice here coming up. But anything, Siggy, you want to talk Sixers? Hell, I'll talk Sixers too. I don't want to talk Wings. I don't want to talk Union. I don't want to talk any of that crap. But the rest of that stuff is on the table. So let's go to the lines. Let's go to the phones. Joe Hale. Joe, what's up?
I got an update for you, and he's coming home tomorrow.
Outstanding. Outstanding news. Please pass that on to him. Is he recovering? Is he good? Well, I mean, obviously he's good. He's coming home, but is he in good spirits? How's he doing?
He's in good spirits. He wants to drink his soda, and he's not allowed in a to drink it in a hospital.
Yeah. I mean, they have no Wi-Fi and no soda. Why would anybody want to go to the hospital? I
was in the hospital yesterday. That's where I.
Oh, are you okay?
I will be. I pulled my pec muscle.
Oh, Joe, getting older, man. You got to be careful.
Shovel in the ice.
Yeah, I'm sure they had an uptick of shoveling related incidences at the hospital over the last few days. Thrown backs, pulled muscles, slip this, slip that. Yeah, got to be careful.
The reason I want to talk to you, I asked Pat on TikTok, name the Philly sports that you follow the most, and he said the Water Dogs, and then yes,
And
Pat
you wonder why
said
he's not on the network anymore? No, that's not why he's on the That's not why he's not here. No, I'm just joking.
no, he actually told people he's been so super busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, he is. Listen, we're gonna work it out. Me and Pat will work it out. There's no rift between us or anything like that. There's certain things he's got to do in order to get back on the air, and he hasn't done them yet. So
you'd rather stay on TikTok to support It's a Wrap, like go on a TikTok page.
Well, here's cool no, TikTok is an untapped resource right now. The problem with TikTok, it's instant gratification. I need most people who like do this have the same opinion about TikTok. It's great to get on there and kind of express your feelings, but to do a show or run any kind of network, you can't StreamYard or you can't stream through TikTok. You can only do TikTok live, and then once you do it, it vanishes. It's gone. So it's not really. They're working that out. They're trying to figure that out.
Save it now, but it's not worth it. You can save your videos,
but again, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
It's not worth it. But I want to talk Sixers, and I know you don't follow the Sixers.
No, I follow them. I just don't care. But yeah, let's do it.
And BJ are the future of the Sixers. I don't care about Embiid, but he's healthy this year. Everybody's ragging on him, but he's not healthy. I'm watching the game right now. And,
they're playing. They're playing after that 58-point loss or something like that yesterday. They're back at it tonight.
Yeah.
Joe. Here's the thing: the Sixers, real quick. The Sixers, to me, I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder, I watched the San Antonio Spurs, and I watched the Detroit Pistons go through a process faster than I've watched the Sixers do it. All right. They all went through the same thing the Sixers went through, but they did it faster. They did it more efficiently, and they achieved the Thunder at least achieved the ultimate goal. So I look back at the last 12 years of the Sixers as a big old waste. And you're right. It's time to start it all over again with Maxey and Edgecombe as being the centerpieces around that team. But, I don't know, man. We're not winning a championship this year. They'll probably make the playoffs. Right, but they're not winning the championship. It's just another bad year. What's that?
And they can get the number 1 seed the way they're playing.
Yeah, no, it's a tight race in the East. I looked at this playoff schedule standings yesterday. It's tight. It's tight as hell. I don't. You're right, but they're not going to win the championship. They're just not. And there's no way in hell they are.
My friends, I'll tell you what. You mentioned truck day. Did you know if you go down early, the president of baseball, the owner, John Middleton, comes out and says hi to you?
It's John Middleton and Dave Dombrowski, or just Middleton?
Middleton.
You might want to rethink that this year. You might want to rethink that.
Why?
I don't know. Man. There's some bad blood right now with the Phillies and the whole Bader thing, not Bader, but the whole Bichette thing. I don't know, man. This might not be the right place for that.
Was our savior. Bader is nothing. He's going to be nothing in San Fran.
Yeah, there's going to be nothing here. Yes. I appreciate what he did last year. And maybe if he would have not gotten hurt in the playoffs, we would have beaten the Dodgers. It was that close, and he was that hot.
Better Bader.
Well, I think he is. I think Crawford's going to have a great year, and I think Crawford's career is going to get off to an outstanding start. I just hope it's not like a Dominic Brown thing where he tears it up in the first half and then falls apart. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think Crawford is. If you're asking me to invest either in Crawford or Bader, I'm going to invest in Crawford.
I bet Crawford 9.
Yeah, that's a real start, but he's not a 9 hitter. That's not his natural spot. He should be when he rounds in the form a leadoff hitter. That's where he should be in the lineup.
Years, give or take.
A couple of years, yeah, 3 years.
So, why does hitters hate you? That's all I wanted to ask. That.
Why do what hate here?
Why do haters hate you?
Why the who hate me?
Haters.
No, the haters don't hate me. The haters love me. The homers hate me.
Why do homers hate you? Hey,
really, Joe? You're asking me that question?
We're talking about Al.
We're talking about Al.
You and Al are funny together.
I enjoy working with Al. Al's funny. We have see. It's not personal, and Al and me know that. I don't want to say it's an act. It's not an act. It is showmanship. We are giving our opinions, but our opinions of sports do not dictate our friendship off the air. But why do homers hate me? Because of my age and what I've experienced in my time as a Philadelphia sports fan, I'm not buying it anymore, man. I'm not buying the shiny new, ooh, look, everybody, it's this. No, I'm not buying that anymore because I bought that for a lot of years and got my heart broken. And unless I see it being real and like, yeah, okay, but I don't buy it anymore. And I take every opportunity to break it down when I see it. And I'm not making stuff up. I don't make things up. I report what I see. I report how I feel. And a lot of fans, this city is not the same. The fans that are here now are not the fans that raised me and not the fans that, we were when we were like in our 20s and 30s as the kind of the young generation. The fans today are terrible. They're soft.
They're stubborn.
They're not stubborn. They're soft and they don't know what it's like when it's bad. They're spoiled. That's the best word. They are absolutely spoiled because they don't know what bad is. And they just don't look at the truth, man. And like to sit here and tell me, Joe, to tell me or anybody that the Eagles are being selective in their search for an offensive coordinator. And I'm not saying they're not, but to also sit here and tell me that the Eagles have not offered the job to somebody and have been denied is a load of crap. They have.
They did. I'm going to tell you who they offered it to, but he already said no. He's taking the time to say. They offered it to him. Nagy is supposedly got offered, but he didn't come back to the Eagles yet.
Running away. No, I guarantee they offered McDaniel. I guarantee they offered McDaniel and Dable both, and they both were told no. They did over a Zoom call. They had an interview, but I guarantee you, their number one and number two were Dable and McDaniel, and for whatever reason, they both spurred the Eagles.
Would you take Joe Webb?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, he's going to get the Raiders job. The Broncos offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's going to be the new head. Davis Webb. Yeah, he'll be the new head coach of the Raiders. Yeah, he should be.
So
we might have to take Kevin Patullo back, man. Reinstate Kevin Patullo. Give him another chance.
And Tim to Denver could possibly be.
No. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, but I said this last night. You weren't listening. I don't know if you caught it on the replay, but is part of the problem while nobody wants to come here, or is part of the issue with coming here, is that offensive coordinators have one or two options, or their fate is either A or B when they come here. They either come here and get fired after 1 year, or they come here and get a head coaching job after 1 year. Because since Steichen in 22, that's what it's been like. They either get fired after the first year or they get a head coaching position offered to them. But it's only been 1 year. And listen, that amount of instability, people watch that. People are paying attention to that. And it might scare a couple of them coaches. I'm not picking up my whole family, coming to Philadelphia for 1 year. No, I ain't doing that.
Frank Wright wants a job with the Jets.
See, he doesn't even want to come back to the Eagles.
They didn't talk to him.
No, I know that. But we'll get somebody I know. But the arrogance of the Eagle fans, of certain side of the fan base, to believe that, there's no way people could not want to be here, it, to me, is just so ridiculous and so immature and just ignorant. Ignorant.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, Joe. We good?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, Joe Hale. Joe Hale. Again, man, I'm not sitting here telling you that I want that I feel that Eagles suck. No, man. I ain't saying that, but come on. People see this stuff, man. They watch this stuff. We've gone through offensive coordinators like Tic Tacs, man. One every year since 2022. Is that like unprecedented? Has anybody ever done that before? There's been some success sprinkled in there. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, but then also 2 collapses. And some of these young coaches might be looking at the Eagles saying, you know what? They're not very patient with young coaches. They're not very patient with us. I don't know if I want to do this. I got a good thing happening here. Maybe I start another year under Ben Johnson or Sean McVay or Andy Reid. And I'm like, you know what? We'll see what happens in 2027. But that stuff gets out and gets around, man. I don't want to get fired after 1 year. Now, I wouldn't mind becoming a head coach after 1 year, but that's too much of a 50-50 for me right now. I'm a young play caller, starting my journey. I'm going to stumble. But are Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni going to throw me up underneath that bus at the end of the year when we don't succeed? Am I going to be the scapegoat? Am I going to be the Kevin Padula or the Brian Johnson of 2026? I don't want that. I'd rather stay here. It's a theory that needs to be entertained. And to think that we're above that is just, it's ignorant, man. It's absolutely ignorant. Let's go to Michael Papernick. Michael.
Hey, what up, Matty? So what about this offensive coordinator that got fired from Denver, Joe Lombardi? He was there for 3 years. He worked with Bo Nix.
Well, there you go. Let's bring him in.
I mean, well, see, but you said something during your little, when you were talking just a minute ago. What young? We don't need that's the thing. You can't bring a young guy in here. They need their Vic Fangio on offense.
Yep. Why? Tell the people why, Michael Papernick.
Well, why? Well, here's the thing. You ready? Here, first off, Sirianni can't control him. That's number one. Sirianni can't stick his nose into it. Number two. Number three, Sirianni, he'll tell Sirianni where to stick it and to keep on going down the sideline like the cheerleader he is.
Yeah.
So, listen, I don't know much about this guy, Joe Lombardi or Joe Brady. Frank Reich's out. This team don't need a Declan, the kid from Chicago. No, I don't know if they need Matt Nagy because of what he's done with Chicago and didn't call. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What did he do? He's not the one who worked with Pat Mahomes. It was our enemy, then Nagy.
But Nagy took Trubisky to the playoffs, though.
I get that. I get that. One good year. Yeah, well, everybody gets lucky once in a while. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Blind man with a CNI dog can get lucky.
Absolutely.
But like, they got to get a guy in here that's going to have some time to them. And I wonder if Jalen's. Now you heard what I said, Jalen. If Jalen's going to respect them, I didn't say Nick. Jalen. Or is Jalen going to look at him and go, like I said, I didn't hear him give the stamp of approval for Petula. That was Brown at the end of the season. So. Yeah,
Jalen said, let the cards fall. That's not my decision. I'll do whatever they tell me to do. Yeah, that wasn't the stamp of approval. Absolutely.
There it is. And not just that. When they announced who it was, Brown came out, said he loved it. No Jalen Hurts. So now I'm just saying, look, we all know this isn't a 6-month selection thing, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it could. I mean, would it really make a difference at the moment if it went into March? I don't think it would.
No, better not go that far. They got free agency.
I don't think. Yeah, well, they're not doing.
And that's just it, Kaepernick, because all these great things about all these great qualities about some of these young play callers, and you said it. I don't know if a young play caller is what we need, because we may not get the best of that person because of all the outside interference that he's going to have to deal with. But also, again, with the Howie Roseman effect, we're not talking about Howie. They don't want to give up Jeff Stoutland, so they're not going to let certain people come here because people want to bring their staffs. Now, again, I think we talked about this last night.
Frank Reich worked with Howie.
I think we talked about this last night. When it comes to selecting free agents and actually drafting players, who's Howie pulling input from? Is he pulling it from the scouts? Is he pulling it from the coaches? Is there a big, I know I've seen the war room, but I've never recognized anybody in there. But who's pulling, who's telling Howie who to draft and who to sign? And don't you think a coach should have an input on that?
Yeah, now he might have some input on that. That might be where maybe he's more valuable in this sense. Maybe doing something like that, to help pick out some talent. I think it's actually the scouts. Sirianni has some say in it. Look, Sirianni's just a yes man. It's all he is. Nick, frown, run up and down the sidelines, curse on national TV, cry, do the whole deal, yell at that's what he's getting paid to do. And to motivate these players, which, well, that hasn't really worked out so well this year, at least. But
so far,
to go back,
so far you're right.
Frank Reich worked with Howie and he knows what Howie's like. He didn't leave here because of Howie. He left here because he got a head coaching position.
Yeah.
After 2 years.
Yeah.
So he was here 2 years. So that's what I'm getting at. That's why I say you got to get somebody like maybe like a Lombardi or, I'm just a Reich or maybe a Joe Brady. That those guys, and we all know if they have success and somebody might, poach them off our team. So it's, and if you don't have success, I don't think a veteran guy. I think if Kellen Moore didn't have success last year, he wouldn't have been gone. He wouldn't have been gone. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that. It's just these new guys, and I don't think Declan would be considered a new guy because he was, they how do you put this? They're coming in from he's coming in from the Sean Payton tree, Ben Johnson. Yeah. So I think it's like Nagy. Doug really didn't call plays. Andy gave the okay to Jeffrey, and the rest is history with him and Frank.
No, you're right.
See, that's what Sirianni needs. He needs a guy who can come in, maybe Sirianni has maybe 2% of input into it or 5%, and the guy has the rest where he just works with them. You know what I'm saying? Like
what
Doug,
is the Nick Sirianni coaching tree?
There ain't none. What? It's just
Steichen's not part
wait
of
a minute,
right?
no. Well, yeah, because he came with him, so I guess he is, right? Gannon has to be.
Gannon.
I assume because it depends if they're doing current, it would be them. If not, they're coming off of Kellen Moore's coming off of Jason Garrett.
That's what I'm saying. You give credit to Kellen Moore to Nick Sirianni or Jason Garrett. You got to give Garrett on that, right? Because he kind of developed them, right?
Well, no, he wasn't he out there with Oh yeah, he was. Wait, Kellen Moore? Oh no, he was out there with out in San Diego or LA, wherever they were at the time before he came to Philadelphia. So,
also he didn't come right from Dallas.
No, he went from because remember they were grooming him to be the head coach, and then everything fell through.
Yeah.
And then Mike McCarthy, he was with McCarthy, and McCarthy fired him. He was the scapegoat for that, for the offense, and so he went off to. I
think it was LA.
The Chargers. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, they got to bring in a veteran guy. That's a guy's got a few years behind him. And I think Jalen works better with guys with experience. If we've noticed this, Kellen Moore, Steichen, you see where I'm going? I mean, he does work better because I think he can't. A guy like that, he can't control. He can't.
That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
And I'm not pushing the blame with you, even though Sirianni, he should have been pink slipped anyway. I don't care if he won a Super Bowl or not. He should have been pink slipped. But it's, I guess we're not going to find, unless they're holding out to see what they can get off of New England or they can get off of Seattle. I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, I believe they offered somebody the job. I don't know if it was McDaniels. I bet you he gave the vibe he didn't want to come to this. And you know what I mean? Dable, I think they offered because Dable had the connection with Jalen. And if Dable probably told him no because I'm waiting to see what Buffalo. Now he said he never said anything about wanting to go to Tennessee. He said he never said that.
Well, that's what everyone's reporting, that he's now going to end up in Tennessee as their offensive coordinator. Now, do you think Dable was the one that also said, I'm not taking the job because I can't fire Jeff Stoutland?
No, that might have been Mike McDaniels, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't see Dable saying that because you got probably the best offensive line coach maybe as a run game, maybe that was the issue.
Run game,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But you're gonna sit there and tell a guy who had a down year and tell him that I don't want him here. When Susie's let go, I guarantee you, colleges and NFL will be all over that guy, wanting them to bring him in. He'll have a job within a month.
I agree.
And that's the thing right there. So I don't. I like I said, we talked about it last night. I got to give Jeff a pass. I understand. Man, everybody has a down year. He had a down year this year. He had a down year. I get it. Like stuff didn't pan out from last year with the guys. He's and it happens. I mean, but between him and Vic, they're the only two guys I would keep on the whole team as coordinators.
And also,
because I don't know anybody.
Too. Kaepernick, if Sirianni does not pull his head out his ass next year, and he does get fired, everyone's going to go. And there's going to be a whole new regime in here. And that might also be a deterrent for some people to come here too. Maybe they don't feel confident in Sirianni's ability and they know this is it. If he friggin' messes it up next year, everyone's getting fired. So maybe they don't want to do that as well. And I don't think we're talking enough about that.
Yeah, but Jeff survived Chip getting fired. Yeah. He survived Doug getting fired. I mean, there's a reason why he's here. He's like, what was that guy the Eagles had? The offensive line coach, not Juan Castillo. He used to coach the Colts and all that. And it was back with Andy. I forget who it was. It was an older guy. He was like the Jeff Stoutland guy.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. Like these guys, real good offensive line coaches don't get talked enough about.
No, they don't. And but everyone seems to have a shelf life. And if this was so bad, and again, I'm not saying Stoutland's the reason, and God knows I'm not saying that. But if if the offensive line continues to regress next year, if we still are not getting any contributions from the draft classes, if Lane Johnson retires and there's not an adequate substitution for him, if Tyler Steen can't stop being a human turnstile, I mean, if those things cannot resolve themselves and Mailata continues to regress, I mean, it's open season on everybody, if you ask me.
I understand that part. Then yes, I think it's open season. Anybody on the team in general. Yeah. I would exclude Devontae Smith on that one because I think everybody else. Yeah, you got to like you say with Saquon. Here, check. So if Saquon has a bounce back year next year.
Mm-hmm. What's a bounce back year?
Okay, maybe he puts in like 1,700 yards.
Is it so about 1,700 yards? Okay, that's fair.
Fair. Okay, say he gets 17 to 18, whatever he gets. Okay. He bounces back from this year. Maybe they look to trade him. Maybe that's something they look to. You know what I mean? And trade him to the AFC. I don't want to see him in the NFC. Turn him to the AFC, and let somebody have him over there. I mean, they have some. I mean, Howie's going to have to make some moves somewhere along the way, or that. I mean, like you said, he has 23 whatever.
Free agents. 23 free agents. It's amazing.
Yeah,
every year that number's high as hell. Every year.
Yeah, and I think they were talking about like they're trying to take away the voided years, like the NFL's trying to take that away, and Howie's the master of that. So I guess if they take that away, we'll have to find out how good Howie is then on what contract, with his contracts. It's
a house of cards at that point. But listen, Mike. Now, Mike, real quick, I want to ask you one question about the Phillies. Truck Day is on Monday. Is when the trucks head on down the Clearwater. Harrison Bader. I know we talked to you, and you've been pro Harrison Bader this whole time, and you have. You're concerned about the outfield as everyone should be. The outfield's probably, with the starting rotation as being the exception, but the outfield's probably the other position group that's not necessarily giving everybody a warm and fuzzy. I said that I would rather invest all my options right now in Justin Crawford than Harrison Bader, and that a 2-year contract for $20 million, I wasn't prepared to give him. I wasn't prepared to give him a 1 year for $10 million. So I know you're again pro Harrison Bader, but one last time, give me your Harrison Bader final take.
Dombrowski bumbled that up. He should have been our starting left fielder. I mean, listen, Marsh can't hit left-handed bat. He can't hit left-handed. He can't hit right-handed. But we're going to put him out there. You know what they're hoping for? Rincones. I'll bank on that.
Yes,
they're banking on probably Rincones. But did you hear? My buddy sent me a thing from, I think it was CBS Sports or something. The Phillies might be interested in Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, I saw that. Another power-hitting third baseman. Now we'll be doing with Bohm.
Well, Bomb's going to go to first base, and guess who's going to be running left field?
Harper's
probably Harper because he's
in left field.
Well, here's the thing. You know why? Well, here's why. Because Garcia's arm is way better than, or the guy out there in right field. His arm's a rocket.
Yeah.
So you're not putting Harper in right field with that.
They got to trade Alec Bohm. They got to freaking trade him if that's the case. If that happens, you got to trade Bohm.
Yeah, Well, listen, you always need a dance partner. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that easy.
That's my point. I know it ain't, but it'd be sure. I think that would be easier than trying to manipulate a Bryce Harper in the outfield situation in 2026, because then he's going to start bitching and moaning because his playing time might get cut. I don't know how they're going to rotate him around there. I don't know. I just don't see an easy way for him. And he's a prima donna, and he's going to get mad, and then we're going to have drama and AJ Brown stuff. I don't want that, man.
Well, I know I get that part. What could happen is maybe Baum goes to first. He has a good first half. The Phillies can trade him then. Maybe somebody wants to take him. I mean, that's the thing that I can think of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why teams know what it is. He's an okay third baseman, and that's what and I think teams might be turned off maybe because he made some comments, about Philly and stuff. Maybe they don't want to deal with that if they make trades for him. And he's a free agent. So what? Phillies will just take what they can get for him.
He's a 1-year rental. I said to Castellanos, just take him. Just get rid of him, man. You're going to lose him anyway. It didn't work. Let's just move on. Go, just whatever. It ain't going. You're never going to be recomp for what you put into it. It was one of them bad moves. Let's move the hell on. I agree.
Well, Christopher Sanchez is pitching for the Dominican Republic.
Yes, he is. I saw that. Philly's got 11 players in the WBC.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
fun.
Here's why I think it works for Sanchez, because he's going to be the ace. He's got to get used to that part. Even though he did last year, he's told he's the ace right now.
He is the ace. Yep.
So I think these high profile stuff he has to, and I think he's going to suck it right up, and that kid's got star written all over him.
And that's our saving grace is the Christopher Sanchez and Jesus Luzardo. That's our saving grace to get us through.
Here's a question for you. I got a question for you. Okay. Donovan McNabb, Randall Cunningham, Nick Foles, Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. You got to choose one to go.
Jalen Hurts.
Who you? There it is. I had now. This is who my starting quarterback was. Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham in this NFL today would be unstoppable.
Oh
my! The way he just run, he ran like Gary Maddox with them long legs. He was all legs. You couldn't catch him. They couldn't catch him.
No, it would be. It would not even be fair watching him out there today.
No, it wouldn't. And I was telling my buddy, I said, him, Donovan would be 2, Nick would be 3, or however you want to flip it around. But you put him in a read option with his gun. You talk about a guy with a gun. I mean, well, Matt, you have a good night. Oh, did Joe give any updates on Ricky?
Ricky is coming home. He'll be home, I guess, tomorrow, and should be back in the chat hopefully by the end of the week.
Oh, good. All right. Okay, that's a good thing. All right.
Yeah, he's recovering.
All right, Joe. Hey, Joe, if you're listening, thank you, Joe, for giving the update.
All right, Papernick. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Matty. You have a good night. All right.
You too. Yeah, I saw that on the internet there. I saw the whole, you had to get rid of one. You had 4 quarterbacks, Montgomery, Randall, Donovan, Nick Foles, and Jalen Hurts. You got to get rid of one. Ain't even friggin' close. It's not even friggin' close. Because you got 3 quarterbacks and you got Jalen Hurts, all right, who's an athlete. It's not even close, man. It's not even friggin' close. That's unfair. It's unfair, and it's disrespectful to Jalen Hurts. To put him on that list, not to say to get him off the list, but to put him on that list is disrespectful to Jalen Hurts. But I did see that. All right, let's get into the of the night segment. Let's do that. Let's get into that, and then let's keep this train moving. All right. That's the other night, and we're going to do 2 tonight. We've been doing 2 pretty much the rest of the week, and we're doing a card tonight. So we're going to go right from this to the card review. So, drum roll, please. Don't have that in the budget yet, but all right, just think of a drum roll. And here we go. Our NHL 2026 prospect breakdown of the night. We're going with Mr. Beckham Edwards, the center from the Serena Sting, the second straight Serena Sting player that we've sort of profiled. We did one last night. Now we're doing one tonight of the OHL. 6'1". They all seem to be 6'1" this year. And that ain't me not updating the weight or the height. These kids are all like around the same height. It's really amazing. He's a little lighter though. He's 181. He's not 190. And that's also been a common number. Edwards is a structured two-way center who blends pace, poise, and intelligent reads. He's zippy on the forecheck, darting side to side to pressure defenders and force turnovers, and crashes the net off puck with speed and to create second chance looks. This has got a mid-ish, like low teen, 10, 11, 12, 13 at the highest for me. Again, I don't like his build. I want him to be a little bit heavier, but this is the kind of center we need. He's got number 2 centerman written all over him. That if these characteristics sort of translate to the NHL, that is a number 2 centerman all day long, and we desperately need one of them to go along with our need for a number 1 center. But yeah, Beckham Edwards, man. I've actually seen him play a couple times this year. Through 24 games with Serena, 17 goals, 38 assists for him, and a plus 11. So the kid's a scorer. The kid's a facilitator. And yes, he does. He's very active out there. He's never standing still. He's always moving. He's always moving to the play. And I didn't necessarily notice zippy on the forecheck, but he is very quick on the forecheck. So I do like this kid. He is on my radar for the Flyers to perhaps select at that point in the first round. I don't know where the Flyers are going to select. If they're a playoff team, they're going to select in the bottom part. He could possibly last through the teens. Probably not. But if the Flyers don't make the playoffs, this would probably be the range of player the Flyers would be in position to take. So Beckham Edwards, there's our first Flyer potential draft pick, legitimate potential draft pick here for the Flyers in 2026. Young man from the Serena Sting of the OHL. So there you have it. There's our breakdown of our 2026 NHL draft prospect, and then our Philly Spotlight Player of the Night. And that's not Jesus Lazardo. That's like if Ranger Suarez and Jesus Lazardo had a kid. But anyway, I don't control AI. I do my best with it. Jesus Lazardo. We just kind of talked a little bit about the pitching staff of the Philadelphia Phillies. A lot of doom and gloom surrounding the starting rotation heading into the season. I actually have a lot of confidence in that group because they won me over last year. You know, we basically played a good portion of the meaningful part of the season without Zach Wheeler, and they did fine, even with Nola stinking as he did. And if Nola can kind of figure himself out, and Jesus Lazardo, amongst others, can maintain this and not go into that little slump that he had. What did he give up at one point? Didn't he have like 2 starts back-to-back where he gave up a combined 20 earned runs? I can't have any of that this year. But if he can maintain what he started in 2025, that's a win for me. And it's a contract year for Mr. Lazardo too. So I like Lazardo as our number 2 in our rotation. And then as we move forward into the season, slide him into that very comfortable number 3 hole in our rotation, and an absolute critical member of our postseason rotation. So there's Lazardo. Again, he's going to be one of those players that we're banking on to really come out of camp, smoking hot. We can't really go into that early season. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to, but they really can't afford to. They got to be consistent next year. But I don't think it is. I think they're going to struggle a little bit out of the gate. But that also might be a good thing because that could also cost Rob Thompson his job. Don Mattingly takes over, and then we have another 2022 on our hands, which would be great. But Jesus Lazardo is going to be a key member of anything the Phillies do next year, especially in our starting rotation because he's a starting pitcher. So there you have it. Our Philly Spotlight Player of the Night, Jesus Lazardo. Our NHL draft prospect, Beckham Edwards. And that takes me to my favorite segment of all time, even though I've stopped really doing it regularly and I got to get back in the frame, is let's get to our favorite segment of all time. That's right. It's MattyB's card review, back for the first time this week. Back for the first, I think we only did it twice last week or once last week. I'm sorry. All right. Got a special treat for you. Special treat tonight. A 2025 Topps Update Chrome series card, right? Rookie debut card of a hot rookie, a young man that came over and maybe one of the greatest trades in Major League Baseball history. He is going to be part of a potential revival. I say potential revival down to the nation's capital. Now, the movement of Mackenzie Gore being traded to the Rangers is a little perplexing to me. Maybe the Nationals don't think they're quite there yet, and that's why they moved Mackenzie Gore. I wouldn't have made that trade. Or I would have made that trade to the Phillies. God, I would have loved to have Gore. Anyway, this is not Mackenzie Gore. But this is one of his teammates and one of the players that was brought over in that trade from the San Diego Padres that netted Juan Soto to the Padres long time ago. And he made his debut last year, in 2024. And this is his rookie debut Topps Update Series Chrome card. And it is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dylan Cruz. Now, he has not necessarily come out the gate swinging. He had a very above average first season. He had a very average second season. But he is going to be part of that James Wood, CJ Abrams. I was going to say Mackenzie Gore, but now he's gone. But he is part of the core of what the Nationals are going to do. Now, what they end up doing ultimately, I have no idea. But this is his card. Now, this is one of those cards that falls into the category of not much of a yield on it right now. It's $3. It's about as much as I saw it. I mean, there's people out there trying to sell this card for $50. That's never, ever, ever going to happen. But right now, this card it is movable at $3, and that's obviously not going to stop the world. But this is one of those cards that you forget about. You protect it, put it away, and you forget about it, and you just sort of watch the career sort of unfold. And then you come back to it in about 12, 15 years from now when he's on his way to the Hall of Fame, and you start cashing in on it. But again, it's the Top Update Series Chrome, the granddaddy of them all, of Topps baseball cards, the last series that comes out for the year. It's a refractor, meaning that the player, if you look at the card, the player is kind of popping right off the card, and it's also a prism. That's the gold, the chrome, I guess. But it's a refractor. No, actually, no, this is not a refractor. This is a refractor, but it's not a prism. No, this is just a chrome. It's not a prism. But again, you've heard me say it over and over and over again. How much I am, the money is in the Topps Update Series Chrome every year. That's why they make it the last set to come out every year. And for those of you that are keeping track, February 12th is when Topps 2026 Series 1 hits the shelves. So we'll start this whole process all over again here in about 2 weeks. But Dylan Cruz, cool looking card. Again, you already know how I feel about these cards, the way they're set up. Chrome cards are the way to go. If you're trying to make money in this business, if you're trying to make money in the hobby, you're going to focus on Chrome. Anything Chrome. Chrome Auto, Chrome Refractor, Chrome Parallel, Chrome Prism, Chrome Gold, Chrome is where you focus your money making on. And this is a cool card. So that is my card of the night here. Let's pull it down and I'll show it to you in its physical form. And there it is, Dylan Cruz right there, as you can see. And there it is, the back. All right. Yeah, it's a really cool card and a really good young player with a lot of potential. So MattyB's card review of the night, the 2025 Topps Update Series Chrome rookie debut card of Dylan Cruz. And there you have it. All right. All right. Well, that's going to do it. We've gotten to the end of another great show. I want to thank everybody. Tough night to kind of keep it going. Not much talk about, not much new to talk about, as we're constantly, we're still sort of stuck in this crazy vortex of no sports. I mean, you got basketball happening, you got hockey going on, but the big ones are done. This is that time of the year where there is no baseball and no football. I hate that time of the year. There's not either one of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, football is technically still going on, but we got a little bit of a delay before they start the Super Bowl. But right now, sitting here on this day, there's no baseball and there's no football. There's nothing. And that's an odd time of the year. And thankfully, it's like only a week, right? We only got to deal with that for a week, because next week, well, I guess 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I guess we got to deal with it. Because then we got football, and then right after that, we got baseball starting. So this is that paradox time of the sports year or sports calendar that sucks for me. And we're going to try to fill it up with all kinds of special little things to get through this time. But thanks for sticking it out with me tonight. Search for the Eagles offensive coordinator continues as the certain section of the fan base mired in denial about the status of this franchise being this gold standard Mount Olympus of football franchises, and it's not. But we'll talk again tomorrow. Remember all the stuff that's coming up on the network for the rest of the week, and there you have it one more time. Here's our schedule. So make sure you're checking us out. Tomorrow night, we got Clear the Ice returning. Michael Aro will have you post-game Flyers, Blue Jackets. So we're trying to pump it out as best as we can until we talk again tomorrow, which will be back here on this show. You guys have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.